That time they forgot I don't work there. I teach music, so I worked for music schools in all different places at once. Lessons here on Mondays. Lessons there on Tuesdays. The life of a new music teacher. I lived in the city, but commuted to suburbs for the schools. The school furthest away from me was a 3-hour commute each way. But it paid the best hourly rate and initially offered me the most hours. So I gave it a shot. What's 6 hours travel time if it means I have groceries covered? I finished the school year and long story short, it wasn't fun. So I didn't renew my contract in April. Had a little goodbye party with all my coworkers and students. And enjoyed my summer. In September I happily started my first day back at a different school. One that gave me full-time hours and a half-decent salary. I didn't need to commute or split my time up anymore. I felt like $1 million. Halfway through the first lesson of the day, my phone started ringing off the hook. I ignored it as long as I could, but it wouldn't stop buzzing. It was constant, to the point where my class was starting to stress out. "Maybe your house is on fire," said one of them. I told my boss something was up, had them watch the room, and stepped out to make sure my house was not on fire. The phone calls were coming from my previous school. I answered the phone. A breathless secretary asked, "Where in the hell have I been? There is a line of families waiting for you. You should have been at room 309 hours ago. We've been trying to send you your schedule for weeks, but nothing went through to your work email. You never signed on to the online scheduler." "Oh no," I said. "I resigned in April. That's why my work email was disabled in June. One of us must have made a huge mistake." I heard a lot of frantic sounds on the other end of the phone. And then, "Could you maybe come in for the rest of the day while we figure this out? We have an entire afternoon and evening of students scheduled for you." This was in the morning. So without any confirmation from me, they had fully booked me from 9 a.m. until 8 p.m. My response was, "Sorry. No," and I hung up. I wish I could tell you it was the most satisfying "no" I ever said. But I was honestly so flabbergasted that it was just a confused reaction. I literally didn't know what to say to that, so I just hung up. I did tell my current classroom what had just happened and they laughed. My new boss also found it hilarious. For the rest of the year, my boss and other teachers would tell me, "Why aren't you in room 309?" Or jokingly say, "Sorry. No," to regular things. "We've been trying to send you your work schedule for weeks and knew that your work email was disabled, but didn't think twice about calling you to find out why you weren't responding to the emails we knew you weren't getting." Seriously? How can people be this dense and then wonder why shit goes up in flames? You have brought joy as well as teaching value to your new workplace. Love how they try to make op feel bad that people are waiting for them. You should open your own music class. Sounds like you have plenty of customers lined up. Literally. Haha. Love that story. And what an attitude. Where are you? Until this day room 309 is still full of people waiting for you lol. My parents thought I ditched my first 4 days of high school because I had tested, been accepted to, and went to orientation for 2 different schools before I decided on one versus the other. Apparently the one I didn't go to didn't get the message. Called my parents and said I missed the first 4 days of school. Whoops. Happened to me once at a coffee shop job. I told the owner of the company that I'm moving out of state to go to college in June. He says, "Okay." My last week, I get emailed a schedule that includes me on shift past my quitting date. I email the scheduler back and tell them of their error. I move out of state. I get a frantic call at 6 a.m. Saturday morning. The owner of the company Where are you? You were on the schedule. And I explained again. I quit months in advance and even sent a reminder last week. He tells me that he needs me to come in. I tell him no. He threatens to burn all bridges and becomes a bad reference. So my teenaged self couldn't use my most recent job on my resume anymore. Delightful. Multiple clues that you had resigned. Secretary was hoping against hope that you had changed your mind so she wouldn't have to issue refunds or reschedule all those students. Obviously, if you hadn't picked up, you were busy. Why would you stop what you were doing to go perform a job that didn't appreciate you in the first place? It is always bad management. I feel bad for the secretary here. Someone on her end clearly screwed up and she's just doing her best to try to fix the situation. Excellent. I hope to see similar stories anytime someone says that their boss refuses to accept their resignation. Although that's a different situation than this. And I think yours is better. Because of the heroic level of sloppiness it required on their part to have a goodbye party for you. Deactivate your email. Never hear anything from you before classes started. Still schedule you for classes. Still expect you to show up for them. And not have any sort of backup plan, just in case that guy we haven't heard from all summer doesn't show up. Because, am I wrong? Or didn't we have a goodbye party for him or something? Bah. Probably not worth trying to figure that out by spending 15 seconds on checking the IT or HR records. Plus then you get the outrageous ego involved in asking you to walk out on your new job. So you can finish one partial day at your old job because of a mistake that they made. Can't help but be curious to hear how they spun that F up to the angry parents once they realized they didn't have a leg to stand on. Lol, I remember in my old food service job that I quit last spring. I got a call from my old manager a few weeks ago and she was like, "Are you coming in for your shift? Or not?" No. Why was I on the schedule? It had been almost a year since I quit at that point. Legend has the secretary still has nightmares about this day. Having to cancel all of the appointments. We've been trying to reach you about your car's extended warranty, class schedule. Current music teacher, and this is really on brand for individual lesson schools. Wrong subbing dates. Last minute call-ins because they didn't write the date down. Luckily, the school I'm at is great, but some of them in the past not so much. Fellow teacher here. This is hilarious. You made my day. Thank you. I make a more comfortable living being a barista than a music teacher. Props to you for still trying. I gave up.
If you enjoyed this video, please check out our playlists full of similar content. Epic Ericast is like doom scrolling for your ears. Please like, share, and subscribe.